Hello everybody, my name is Shariqo and today we'll be exploring the sewers of Antian City. Let's try to make it all the way through and stop Team Eclipse's plans. Anyways, I beat up some trainers on my way to the end. Some small potatoes, nothing big. I reached the end and Tess thought it'd be a good idea for her to go ahead. Like, I guess you don't even have fully evolved Pokemon. Anyways, she claims she saw Jake, so I head over there with her. Then I find him surrounded by some Team Eclipse grunts, and I was debating on whether to help him or not because he's kind of a scrub. And then it's revealed that the boss of Team Eclipse is Professor Cypress. Wow, I did not see that coming. Then the Absol from before comes over and gives me the Mega Stone, giving us our first Mega. Good thing this Absol comes equipped with Psycho Cut, meaning we have a super effective move against the Venusaur. After Mega Evolving, it'll only take a couple hits to take it down. Let's see the animation for the first time in this series, if you don't count the trailers. Yo, it looks so sick. Unfortunately, Mega Absol kinda sucks in most cases, but we killed the Venusaur and now we're on to the Feraligatr. I switch into my Rotom Wash. Fortunately, he goes for Earthquake and we just levitate over that and then use a couple charge beams to take it down. This gives us a pretty cool special attack boost, which we could use to one-shot the incoming Blaziken. Our Rotom Wash is putting in work, man. Android 17, a go in the show and in the game. I switch off just in case the Torterra goes for a grass moves, and I use my Gyarados' Intimidate to, bring down its attack. Now we could just use Waterfall and chip it down. It goes for a Stone Edge, which does a lot of damage to us, frankly, and I switch out back into Absol. Absol tanks a Stone Edge and then can retaliate with a huge Mega Horn. Then, against the Samurai, I switch back into Android 17, who can use his bulky nature and super effective attacks to counterattack and take it down. But the Samurai uses Dragon Tail, throwing a wrench in my plans. Good thing Gohan comes out and I could outspeed with Psychic and kill it. Then comes Delphox, and I knew I had to let someone go because its flamethrower was just too strong for the rest of my team. I sent in Absol and unfortunately died. But this means I could comfortably switch in my Rotom Wash, but it just doesn't get the kill, meaning I might have to just sack somebody else. I go into Bulma and it went for Calm Mind, so I'm good. And I could outspeed and kill it. Let's go. I would not want to lose my electric type, and we beat Professor Cypress. But then he starts talking about how he already had bombs in the city, which means what was the point of all of this fighting? Anyways, he gives us a key for some reason, and we're kind of cooked as the bombs will just go off as soon as he gets off the island. Out of a portal comes out Dialga, the god of time, and honestly I don't know what it has in mind. And then comes out Palkia, the god of space, or legendary space. I'm not really sure what their class is really. The legend, whatever. This whole cutscene kind of blows. It's some lore. I don't really care. My aura really just brought them together. You know how it be. We get transported back into the sewers with time frozen. I use this opportunity to switch out my Pokemon just so, they're a little bit more prepared for the upcoming fight. In this battle, we're going to be facing against an Eclipse admin, but all of his Pokemon just explode. So we had to make sure we get some, bulky Pokemons that could withstand this high-powered explosions. I use Tien, which just shrug off the explosion from Electrode, and then throughout his entire team, just takes it like a champ. Having stopped the explosives now, we go back to the park, and now we could just relax, knowing that we saved the city. I've been doing a lot of this free vigilante work, and I want some compensation now, because honestly, they're doing a bit too much. They're using an orphan to stop all the problems. And I left this whole clip in because this cutscene is so long and boring. We end up on the next route to Iridia City. Then we go to the Iridia Ruins because of course the gym leader is in trouble and I need to do saving again. I fight the Eclipse members on his behalf, or I think we take like 2 each. After beating them I end up in the gym and I'm ready to fight Prince Ryan, the 5th gym leader, and the gym leader of the ground type. This might be a little tough because, ground type's one of the better types in the game. Although water, electric, and fire are also pretty good, but at that stage, the Pokemon aren't the best. Here, we're actually gonna go against Megas and full teams, I think, or either teams of 5 or teams of 5. Just, you know, still pretty hard. I use Chilai to use a grass type move 4 times effective against a Quagsire, and it just gets demolished. Then he sends out a Steelix, which I could have stayed in, but it has Fire Fang, so I didn't want to risk it. And I just sent an Android 17 who could tank that and then retaliate with Hydro Pump. Unfortunately, the Steelix does have Sturdy, which means we can't get the one shot, and Hydro Pump could miss, so I just used Will-O-Wisp and used the chip damage to take it down. Then comes out the Claydol, and it might have used some Psychic type move that could have done damage to us, so I just switched into Nappa. Use the Dazzling Gleam, which doesn't do too much, and then we could just use Waterfall to beat it up. Then comes the Excadrill, which I'm sure had some stone moves, so I switch into Videl. Takes a Bulldoze, you know, a little bit of damage, but then we can retaliate with an high-powered Earthquake to just take it down. Then comes the big boss Garchomp, and it's a Mega. Let's see this Mega animation. It's pretty sick for the time, I'm not gonna lie. And we face Mega Garchomp. He uses Bulldoze like an absolute idiot, and we can use our Nappa to get the Intimidate off and then switch out into Android 17. He uses a Bulldoze again, so we're good. And we're gonna actually use Will-O-Wisp here to even further cripple its attack. This will let us, you know, chip it down bit by bit. Now we're on to the next route, and we use Rock Smash to get on. But first, we go to the Glistening Grotto to pick up our secret weapon. Go find out what it is soon enough. Beat up some trainers along the route, and we finally end up at Floroma City. Let's go, guys. Doing some puzzles by putting fruits in a basket. We get to face the gym leader, the 6th gym leader, Fissy. This is the grass type specialist. Honestly, his team is very hard, so I gotta be uber prepared. And here is my ace up the sleeve, my Beedrill Marin, who actually has the Beedrillite to become Mega Beedrill and can use adaptability boosted poison jabs to take out the whole team. Let's go. Either that or bug bites. But the Leavanny unfortunately gets a sticky web, which will mean our Pokemon are gonna be just a bit slower as they switch in. Then it uses Electro Web after just living a poison jab, but we could use our Fell Stinger to sharply boost our attack. But we go to sleep against Breloom, and hopefully we wake up soon and KO it, because if it goes out, it's OV, and our piece of crap just died. Let's go, guys. Mega Beedrill.
The number 1 worst Mega Evolution is Mega Beedrill.
Anyways, we switch into Launch, uses Intimidate against the Breloom, and then can one-shot it with Brave Bird. We take a little bit of recoil, which is, you know, not the best, but then we can use Fly against the Roserade to two-shot it. But somehow we get hit by Toxic even though we were up in the sky. This is not great, as Launch was our 2nd great attacker against this gym. Then we switch out into our TN against their Tangrowth, who uses Sunny Day, which is kind of bad if you know their last Pokemon, but I'll keep that hidden for now. Anyways, it goes for a Solar Beam, 1-turn charge because of Sunny Day, and we say Heat Crash, which should have been Sun boosted, but doesn't do enough damage. And here I think Tien's gonna die, so I'll just stay in, try to get all the damage off. But the Tangrowth just keeps going for knockoff, and we could just kill it, but unfortunately it was on a sliver of health, and I switched in Yajirobe to tank the incoming attack, which is just Ancient Power, and good thing it didn't get the Omni boost. Then we could switch into our switch into an Android 17. Who got hit by a critical hit Ancient Power but just lived. But the Tangrowth got the Omni boost. But since it's on 1 health, we could just kill it with Discharge. Then comes in the Beast Venusaur, who has the Mega Form, meaning it loses its weakness to fire and ice, and can use super strong Earthquakes and other moves. But fortunately, we have Body Slam that paralyzes on the first hit, and Yajirobe just survives a Solar Beam to attack back with the Body Slam. Then we switch in Tien for our sack, as we know nobody else can safely switch in, and Tien goes down, a brave soldier. Pan here, our GOAT from the first gym, and he actually just about kills it. Unfortunately, not enough damage done. So I hope we can tank it well, and Pan tanks it fantastically. New word created, and we could just take it out with another Bug Buzz, or with a Bug Buzz. That's how we get our 6th gym badge, Harvest badge, and we get the TM for Rock Climb, or HM for Rock Climb. We end up through the cave, through this frozen area where some Eclipse grunts are, and we fight them. Shouldn't be that big of an issue. We have our Hippowdon, Mr. Popo. We just hit it with an earthquake, taking it out, no issue whatsoever. Then comes in the Wheezing, who has Levitate, but we could just use Crunch to chip it, but unfortunately I didn't realize how bulky he was, and we got toxic on our Hippowdon. But then he uses Memento for some reason and just kills himself. Then comes in Viper, so we switch out into Android 17. This goes for Ring Out, and then we can use an Overheat to blast it. Then comes in a Cacturn, who could just use an Overheat again, even though our special attack was lowered, to just one-shot it. Then comes in a Zangoose, who uses a pretty tough close combat. We could tank it, and then we use Will-O-Wisp to cripple its attack. We switch into our Launch, who can use close combat because it's a normal type Zangoose to get good damage off. Then we use Fly against the Scrafty, one-shot it. Beating all the grunts, they revealed that they were the ones who took our parents for some reason. So I guess this is like our Joe Chill. But then the guy in the middle, mysterious guy in the middle, talks. And he somehow knows our names for some reason. I wonder who this could be. And he reveals himself to be. Yeah, this is so dramatic. But honestly, this is kind of peak back in the day. I can't even hate. Turns out to be Jake. We use Mr. Popo to one-shot the Zep Striker with Earthquake. Then comes a Nidoking, who can use Fly against with Launch. Do some good damage, but then gets hit by a Chip Away, but then can hit back with another Fly, taking it out. Then comes in Slowbro, who would just use Brave Bird against, do great damage. Slowbro uses Rain Dance for some reason, and we could just use Fly to kill it without taking any recoil. Arcanine comes back in, and we could just use Brave Bird to take it out once again. Our Launch is the MVP of this fight. We switch out into Pan against a Vaporeon, because our Launch was getting kind of low into health, and Pan takes big damage from the muddy water. So then we switch out into Nappa. Hydro Pump does not do any damage whatsoever, so then we could just hit back with Thrash, do good damage, leaving it below half health. But then he uses Acid Armor to boost its defense, meaning our next Thrash won't kill it. And unfortunately, we get confused on this one. And it just uses Acid Armor against, meaning his defense is very high now. And we hit ourselves in confusion, unfortunately, and get hit with another Hydro Pump. So I switch out into Chi-Chi, who doesn't get attacked. Unfortunately, he uses Last Resort of all moves with a critical hit, taking out our Chi-Chi. Launch comes in for the Outspeed Brave Bird to take this stupid Vaporeon out. And we win the fight against Eclipse admin Jake. Jake keeps apologizing even though he really didn't have to do this. Whatever, he's a scrub anyways. We could beat him no matter what. Now Tess is just talking about some nonsense. We can't give up. Whatever, power of friendship, whatever, man. We get through this fight. We had a couple deaths. It's unfortunate, but we still persevere. Moving forward, we head to the 7th gym. Yep, and I beat all the trainers, and now I'm on to Zeke, the dark type gym leader. His team is not to be played around with. As with the other gym leaders we faced, he also has a Mega Houndoom, to be exact, with a crazy high special attack. But this is where our secret weapon comes in. Our very special Carbink. You might be thinking, Carbink, he's a trash mon. But against this gym leader, he's a perfect lead, as he could set up Reflect and Light Screen. We switch into Android 17, who uses Discharge to bring it low and then to kill it. Since we have Reflect up, its attacks aren't going to do that much. Then comes in the Crocodile, who we could just use Hydro Pump against to one-shot. Doing very well here, but then the Bisharp comes, and we switch out into our Launch, as it has close combat. We get the Intimidate off to weaken its attack, and it just goes for Sucker Punch. Goes for Sucker Punch again, which unfortunately lands, but we can tank it very well and use a close combat to one-shot it. But we just switch on to Android 17, as this is the perfect point to set up one of the screens for its upcoming Pokemon. Android 17 uses Reflect, lowering the physical damage we'll take from the opponent. Fortunately, it gets Toxic, but it could also set up a Light Screen, which means all forms of attacks won't do damage that much anymore. We switch into Launch, further lowering Umbreon's attack power, but it gets hit with the Confuse Ray, meaning there's a chance we hit ourselves in confusion and get Toxic. Looking kinda bad. Just switching to Yajirobe, who tanks the Assurance like nothing, gets hit with a Confuse Ray unfortunately, and hits itself. We have some bad luck in this fight. Umbreon goes for Assurance once again, but we snap out of confusion and use hammer arm to bring it low, lowering our speed, but we weren't moving anyways, so it's fine. Umbreon goes for Toxic, unfortunately, which means our Yajirobe got poisoned, but we can use Hammer Arm to take it out. Then comes in their other Crocodile, and Intimidate brings our attack down, so we switch into Launch, hopefully trying to dodge the Earthquake, and using Intimidate to bring down the Crocodile's attack. Launch takes a little bit of chip, and I switch into Nappa again to further lower its attack with Intimidate, and then it tanks an Outrage very well, and we could just use Waterfall to take it out. Let's go. On to his last Pokemon, the Houndoom. And it Mega Evolved, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared of this. You know, Mega Houndoom has a lot of attack power, and he has both Flamethrower and Dark Pulse, very good stab attacks, but he just goes for Shadow Ball for some reason, and we tank that like it's no problem and hit back with the Waterfall to one-shot it. Nappa has been our consistent MVP throughout this run, doing great damage and tanking very well. Beating the 7th gym leader, we get the Contrast badge, whatever that means, and you know what, I just want to take a look back on this run. You know, we've been through a lot of things, and honestly, I'm very proud of how far we've gotten. I appreciate everybody for watching the series and, you know, for supporting throughout the episodes, no matter how long they really take. I enjoy reading y'all's comments. And yeah, guys, this will be the last Project Bronze Forever Nuzlocke video for now. As, you know, I'm ready to move on to bigger things, to other content. And yeah, guys, it's just been a great ride all throughout. Classic cutscene. I always love throwing my only alarm clock out because it annoys me in the morning. I've come to the conclusion that Mudkip is the best starter for Brick Bronze. What do we get? Caterpie. Nice. Good thing we won, but overall this battle was very rough around the edges. Yes, he lands it, breaks through confusion, and lands the Dragon Rage to kill Goku and win our 2nd gym badge. Take that, Sebastian. Next time, do your own work. Oh, Gohan finally evolved. You know, gave them a quick 1-2, and it evolved into a beastly Gyarados. Oh nah, I need to get out of here, bro. Yo, they're finna kill me. Nah. No way. Stamp in the fact we just beat the 4th gym leader. Right. See y'all next time.